What do you think of when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost,
Yes, you heard that correctly. Michael Jordan has spoken out against load management in the NBA, and his words are sending shockwaves through today's game. His message was blunt. The league has drifted away from its respect for fans and competition. Jordan didn't stop there. He also hinted at an uncomfortable truth surrounding how modern superstars, including LeBron James, approach many games. And once you hear it, you may never look at today's NBA the same way again. This story dives into Jordan's relentless Iron Man mentality, the hidden reality behind modern rest culture, and the eye-opening numbers that showed just how much the league has changed. Michael Jordan built his legacy on a simple belief. If fans paid their hard-earned money to see him play, then they deserved everything he had that night. No excuses. No sitting out. No half-effort performances. Jordan believed that once you put on the jersey, you owed the crowd your best. That mindset wasn't just talk. He played all 82 games in a season 9 different times. Even in his late 30s with the Wizards, when his body was clearly worn down, he still showed up every single night. Compare that to today, where star players regularly sit out games in December due to load management. Jordan once played through the flu in the 1997 finals, scoring 38 points while barely able to stand. He pushed through ankle injuries, migraines, back pain, and extreme exhaustion. When his father was tragically murdered in 1993, Jordan returned to basketball, saying the game helped him heal. That wasn't just toughness. That was an unbreakable bond with the sport. His intensity spilled into everything he did. Teammates often said practices with Jordan felt harder than actual games. Steve Kerr famously took a punch during a heated 1995 practice because Jordan demanded the same fire from everyone around him. That pressure forged championship teams, but it also did something bigger. It helped build the NBA into a global powerhouse. Before Jordan, the league struggled for national attention. Some finals games weren't even aired live. Then came Jordan, a superstar who never took nights off and always delivered a show. Fans trusted the product because they knew greatness would be on the floor. Viewership soared, merchandise sales exploded, and basketball became a worldwide phenomenon. That growth didn't happen by accident. It happened because the league's biggest star treated every game like it mattered. That's why Jordan's recent criticism of load management landed so hard. When someone who played through illness, pain, and personal loss says today's players are letting fans down, people listen. And he's not alone. Legends like Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, and Magic Johnson openly agreed with him. For them, the rule was simple. If you're healthy enough to walk, you're healthy enough to play. Kobe Bryant shared that same mentality. He openly mocked the idea of load management and said he couldn't understand it. This is the same player who tore his Achilles, calmly walked to the free throw line, and knocked down 2 shots before leaving the court. When asked years later if he ever considered sitting out games, Kobe's answer made his stance crystal clear.
Come to me and talk to me about load management. Like, AI, you're not playing tonight. Why? We're resting you. You're resting me like you're resting me. That's not load management. That's a suspension, man. Yeah.
That mindset defined the Mamba and Michael Jordan, a competitive DNA many believe today's stars, including LeBron James, never truly shared. The same attitude lived in Allen Iverson, widely considered the toughest 6-foot player the game has ever seen. Iverson attacked every night like it was a battle, playing through broken fingers, sore ribs, and twisted ankles without hesitation. In a recent New Heights podcast appearance, Iverson explained that resting by choice simply wasn't part of the culture during his era. If you were able to walk onto the court, you were expected to play.
Stop this BS with load management. We can't keep crapping on the fans where we're like, wait, you're making $70 million. You can't play basketball 4 days a week?
And Iverson wasn't exaggerating. During the 2001 season, he battled through 10 documented injuries and still carried the 76ers all the way to the NBA Finals. Charles Barkley has been sounding the alarm on this issue for years, and he never softens his message. Speaking on TNT, Barkley openly criticized today's stars, saying the modern game coddles players and leaves fans shortchanged when healthy athletes choose the bench. His argument is straightforward. Fans spend serious money to watch elite basketball, not to see star players sitting in luxury warm-ups. And it's hard to argue with that point.
They have got to do something about this load management. It's hurting the game.
That's classic Barkley logic. and it's tough to poke holes in it. Magic Johnson stepped into the conversation as the league faced growing backlash and didn't mince words. He openly stated that load management was damaging the NBA, warning that constant rest was taking away from the excitement, the competition, and the connection fans have with the game.
During that whole year, but other than that, if I'm able to play, I'll play basketball.
Magic Johnson built his entire legacy around Showtime, so he understood something many forget today. The NBA is entertainment. When the biggest stars aren't on the floor, the show simply doesn't work. Magic pointed out that TV ratings have dropped by nearly 40% in recent years, and in his view, the reason is obvious. Fans tune in to watch greatness, not empty jerseys resting on the bench. Then there were the league's true Iron Men. Players like Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, and Larry Bird treated a full season like basic job requirements. Malone played 80 or more games in 17 of his 19 seasons, showing up year after year without excuses. Ewing did the same, even when his knees were clearly breaking down. And Larry Bird might be the most extreme example of all. His back was so damaged from herniated discs that he often had to lie flat on the locker room floor during timeouts just to manage the pain. Still, he played. Bird once said he couldn't stand the idea of letting fans down after they paid to see him. Some nights, he could barely move, yet he still delivered elite performances because he believed the fans deserved it. That mindset is the real dividing line between eras. For those players, showing up wasn't optional. It was a form of respect. People planned their schedules, saved their money, and packed arenas to watch them perform. Taking a night off wasn't seen as smart strategy. It was seen as unacceptable. So when Michael Jordan criticizes today's stars, including LeBron James, for embracing rest culture, it isn't just an emotional rant. It's a warning about lowering the standard and accepting mediocrity. And this isn't just nostalgia talking. The numbers tell a clear story. In the 1980s and 1990s, playing all 82 games was normal, not rare. In 1980, 56 players completed full seasons, 57 did the same. Throughout the 90s, the trend continued, with roughly 50 to 60 players each year never missing a game. That's nearly 2 full modern rosters of Iron Men, season after season. Now compare that to the load management era. In 2016, only 18 players played all 82 games. The following year, it dropped to 17. In 2019, just 21 made it through a full season. Then came the low point. In 2022, only 5 players did it. 5 out of hundreds. The numbers barely recovered after that, with 10 in 2023, 17 last season, and early projections for 2025 hovering around 11. That's a massive fall from nearly 60 to barely a dozen. This decline isn't because the game suddenly became more brutal. In fact, players today travel on private jets, work with personal nutritionists, hire sleep specialists, and use recovery technology that looks straight out of science fiction. Yet somehow, fewer players are available than ever before. That contrast is exactly why legends believe the league has lost something important along the way. Movie. Yet somehow, they play less. Old back then, players didn't rely on detailed load charts or advanced recovery systems. They had ice baths, grit, and personal pride. They showed up because they believed consistency was part of the job, and fans deserved nothing less. That's the code Michael Jordan is talking about. The same code that helped earn the NBA respect around the world. When nearly 60 players once completed all 82 games every season, and now fans celebrate someone for reaching 70, that isn't growth. It's a red flag. The numbers don't just reflect change. They reveal a league that has lost its commitment to showing up every night. And fans can feel it. The game simply doesn't carry the same weight anymore. Today's NBA revolves around comfort, control, and planned rest. Minutes are managed like financial assets, carefully calculated and protected. Everything is driven by data, projections, and long-term preservation. On paper, it sounds smart. But when fans spend hundreds of dollars only to watch their favorite stars sit on the bench in designer warm-ups, it doesn't feel intelligent. It feels disrespectful. The modern game has turned competition into risk management, where skipping games is treated like standard business practice. In the past, players worried about losing their role. Now, they worry about minor discomfort. And this conversation always circles back to LeBron James. His 2019 statement that he only plays when he feels healthy became a symbol of this era's mindset. For critics, It represents a shift away from pushing through adversity and toward protecting image and longevity. Over the past 5 seasons, LeBron has missed more than 100 games. That's more than Michael Jordan missed during his entire Bulls run, excluding the season shortened by a broken foot. The contrast is striking, especially when you remember Jordan logging heavy minutes, absorbing brutal physical play from defenses like the Bad Boy Pistons, and still showing up the next night as if it were personal. That's why the 1997 flu game still stands as a defining moment.